So, we're just getting into the pre-show here for a little bit. So, I wanted to let everybody know, by the way, we normally do a little bit of pre-show, and then the rest of it's just, discussion on all various topics till the very end of the wrap-up. I'm actually looking to do 30 minutes of Q&A at the very end, just 30 minutes just dedicated to Q&A. So that way
That's a good
it's gets you folks a lot more involved. And this is kind of preparing for potentially having some developers on soon. I don't know
Awesome.
exactly who it's going to be and in what order, but I talked to them. They expressed some interest, and they're going to go through the loops with everybody they need to figure it out. So that should be pretty cool.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes. Oh, yes, bacon. That's a great pre-show discussion topic. So yes, I did bring up bacon. Now, there was something that was kind of confusing to me because Terry was saying that they've got ham in the game. I'm pretty sure that's more like a beef roast that they've got, not ham.
Really, we're going to argue the merits of whether pixels are a ham or a beef roast?
it it looks like beef. It looks like that, nice kind of red towards the middle, a little grayish towards the outside, smoky ring, kind of nice beef roast. Especially when you look at the cross sections cut off of it. So I'm pretty sure that, and if I remember correctly, it's also wrapped with the string. I don't really know if you do that with ham. Yeah, Pie Wing is agreeing there. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a roast in the game, not ham. But I do agree, if you try to feed somebody bacon, or try to feed someone ham rather, and call it bacon, that is incorrect. So, yeah, ham, bacon. So yeah, that was definitely a whammy on his part. Like we don't have ham in the game. We have beef.
No ham in the game. We have beef. Gotcha.
So there's your discussion on bacon, Bad Viking. We have none.
There you go.
What is that? What is the? I think. What's the static?
Oh, that's the microphone. I think it's actually the cord on your microphone on your headset there, Kremchek, that's causing that.
It's weird.
Ham could be Canadian bacon. Well, Canadian bacon is a very specific cut, so I mean it's yeah, it's an interesting sort of thing. Yes, we have no tomatoes. What are you talking about? We have red lumicite balls. I've seen those used to represent apples and tomatoes. The orbs or whatever. Yeah. More pre-show discussion. Is there anything landmark related that anybody wants to talk about or get out of their system before the show here? Anything at all?
You talking to me or the chat room?
No, everybody. Kremchek, you have anything?
Nope.
Are you gonna have a small distraction running around behind you this time, or is that questionable? Probably.
Probably. I told her not to, but we'll see. I got a movie on for her.
Yeah, he was on Dead Feature Rant yesterday, and there's a little child zombie behind him trying to eat his brains.
I hate it when that happens.
Yeah, actually, they're pretty functional stuff. Bad Viking. I actually made a big spiky club with.
Looks awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty fun little project. I made that during Combat Daily, and put it up. It's like 50 cents on Player Studio. So.
Oh, I'm not logged in. That might help if I log in.
Or, excuse me, not 50 cents, 50 station cash. Now, that's the thing. Dave got me saying cents instead of station cash because he kept referring to them as cents. And that's what they are. Like it's USD is what the station cash is relative to. Um, Plus or minus because I mean it's really a valueless currency that SOE owns and operates and has total control and possession of. So, um, yeah. It's just interesting like that. I mean, that's all how all virtual currency sort of stuff works. Did my no, I didn't get muted there. Very good. No hat today. He's in trouble. Who has no hat today?
Me.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Last night they said the zombie kid was gonna eat me, but I had a hat on, so I had the H1Z1 hat on, so I was good to go.
Yeah.
Today I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's a zombie still though, so we'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, still hearing that little staticky here and there every now and then.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Was that the case yesterday also?
I don't think so.
Maybe I'll need a new headset too.
Yeah, that was really loud there. Whatever you were just doing. Yeah, that. Yeah, stop it. Cut it out.
This?
Yeah, cut it out.
Oh my god, yeah, that's
Oh, that's like dangling my cord. Maybe I'll have to put it up on my desk.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
is that a USB mic or an analog mic?
It's analog.
That's why. Go
Well-
USB, folks. It completely cuts that bullshit out. Just a tip. It does. It does. It completely eliminates any of the fucking analog issues.
Right. Yeah, no. Well, it's an interesting sort of thing. Like, for as soon as station cash is purchased, there's nothing saying that they have to return it to a player if a player requests a refund or anything like that. So it's as soon as the money's in their hands, it's theirs, and there's nothing the player can really do about it. So it actually is their property, whether or not we own it on our account. Because our account, guess what? It's also their property. The servers are their property, and the items in our
They own
bags are their
everything,
property. Yeah. Diggs. Yeah.
Alright, now can I get into chat? That would be nice.
Does this sound better at all?
Yeah, it hasn't been
Yes. Much better.
freaking out the same way.
Okay.
Definitely recommend a new headset.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, USB is the way to go. It eliminates all the analog bullshit and prevents stuff like that from being an issue.
I didn't even know
My wife
computer
asked me-
headsets were being non-USB these days. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm surprised. I had somebody who was bitching and whining about his headset and picking up hum, and I'm like, "What are you going on about?" And it turns out, yeah, he's rocking like $150 analog plug headset. I'm like, why would you do that?
Some people do. What were you saying about your wife there?
Oh, she asked me yesterday if I needed a new headset, and I said, "Oh no, this one's fine."
No.
I guess that's different.
I mean, I guess the speakers, like what you're hearing from, is fine. It's just the microphone part sucks. So that would be the thing
Yeah.
to replace.
There you go.
Alrighty, tell you what, guys, I'm gonna go grab my beverages and all that. I'll be right back in a minute.
Sounds good.
All right.
Oh, he's got some posters back there. I'll have to ask about those when he gets back.
Oh yeah.
What do you have on the wall behind you? I didn't ask about that yesterday or on previous.
I have paintings that my wife has painted. Back on the wall.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's right. You were saying she's an artist.
Yep.
Very cool. You just grab a mod mic and slap it on the other side. Good work. Is that mic detachable or is it built in?
No, it's built in.
Oh, okay. Just built in
I
such
actually
a way
got
that the dangly cord will cause issues. Go ahead.
well, yeah, it's about 2 years old, so maybe it's just that I've played with it too much. Because I'm a fidgeter, so I always have stuff in my hands and I'm pulling on it and stuff. So that's probably what it is.
I think I won this headset in 2008, and it's still a badass headset. It's the Plantronics Gamecom Pro 1 or something like that. And I didn't realize when I won it, it's a $150 headset.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I got what was it called? The Pro Shot. I don't even remember the company name. It was right when the Xbox headsets came out. And I got one of those, and then the sound wasn't working for Xbox because they suck at stuff. And so I took it back, and I just have had this one. Or I had this one beforehand, but I'd just been using this one for the Xbox also.
For some reason now, I just imagine people at Microsoft actually being the ones who make the Windows Phone itself, like actually designing the phone. Nah, just a silly thought. So, hey, Fubar. So yeah, we got some folks in chat here: Fubar, Rudnell, Diggs, Old Greg. Saw some other folks: Piewing, Bad Viking, Mystic Viking. We've got two Vikings. Battle of the Vikings. Shatari is here. Balomero. Gotta have some Beats by Dre with a little clip-on MP3 player. Yeah, great.
I've heard nothing but bad things about Beats by Dre.
Well, I mean, they were a very popular product for long enough to get bought out, so
Yeah,
good enough.
I think probably for gaming it's not as much as just for listening to music, obviously.
Fubar, believe it or not, you actually didn't miss that much from the official stream. Um, there wasn't much. Wasn't much to it. Wasn't much to report. Wasn't much going on. Nothing too fancy coming along. It's we've got chains this week, but other than that, like we'll talk about that stuff during the show. But no, you didn't really miss too much. Weren't any real hilarious shenanigans. Omid wasn't on, so you didn't get to hear his catchphrase. Yeah, actually, I got to catch some of the Lorgasm show with it's Giovanni from Viz Gaming and Velux. They do that every Wednesday, maybe 2-3 hours before this show. I don't remember the exact timing, but while they were doing the show, Jeff Butler and Steve Denuzer came in and talking about various stuff. Like, I asked, well, what happens if two Row songs touch? And they said, Rogasm, so very interesting. Other than that, I mean, there was a lot of interesting stuff, and that was Jeff Butler who had that answer, so pretty good stuff. Talking about some of the different things that I guess like some of the ideas about the class system and how that's going to work, and talking about like mana bars and stamina bars, and are we going to have multiple bars for these different things, or is it all going to be integrated? So pretty interesting discussion. Definitely something that I tune into on Wednesdays when I wrap up Combat Daily, which if you missed it today, I made a pretty awesome looking weapon. I think I mentioned it earlier on the show, but definitely buy it. Buy it and decorate with it. It's got these 2 rings on it for a couple chains to be hanging off, or as many chains as you want. It's pretty cool. You can do a lot with it.
Yeah, to go
Yeah, it
back to
looks
the
really cool.
headset discussion for a second.
Yeah.
Nicest, best headset I ever had was the really high-end wireless one that Logitech makes. Super comfortable, sounded great, blah blah blah. Died after a year. The battery would stop charging though,
Brutal.
and Logitech wouldn't replace it, even though it was still in warranty.
Oh, that's
And
bullshit.
Oh,
I had been using Logitech almost primarily for everything for years, and I was so bullshit over it that I ended up going with this Playtronics. But
Yeah, that's who
this is
I've
starting
got.
to fall apart. Yeah, this thing just broke the other day. I had to tape it together.
Really? Like I said,
Yeah.
I've had this one for like at least 6 years. It's a Plantronics headset. It's been pretty sturdy. The only thing to come off of it was the little fuzzy thing on the end of the microphone, and that's not such a big deal. I could probably stand to get a
Yeah.
bigger, fuzzier one anyway. Uh,
Yes, old Greg's asking if it was the G930. Yeah, it was. It was the G930. Really liked it. It was super comfortable. Sounded great. It was really nice not being on a wire too. You can
yeah.
get up, walk away from the computer, and still be able to talk to people.
I'm gonna let you
yeah,
guys
that's
continue
nice.
that discussion or whatever. I will be back in just a moment.
Yeah. So anybody play in the Arch Age beta last weekend?
I didn't play last weekend, but I played, I think, in the third one they had.
Gotcha. What did you think of it?
Thought it was okay. I probably would have kept playing it if the people that I were playing with had kept playing it. But
Gotcha.
it wasn't
Yeah,
anything special to me, but it was good enough to
yeah.
play.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely intrigued. I mean, I know once you hit like mid-level, it pretty much turns into open world PvP. But there's a lot of elements I like about it, particularly like the dancing stuff is very clever. The music class is very clever. There's a lot of the
Yeah.
sandboxy elements I'm very interested in. My problem is being an older gamer. When I started gaming, the default setting for most mouses was inverted y-axis for first
Mhm.
person shooters, things like that. So I've gotten very used to playing that way over the years. And it's never an issue because it's one of those default options that is always in every MMO. And
Right.
apparently, because this is a Korean game and it's not common in Asia for people to reverse their y axis, it's never an option they add to these games. There has been a riot going on in their forums from people like me who are like, I can't play without inverted y-axis. It's like it's like being left-handed and everyone's telling you play right-handed. It's just
Right.
it's just not the way you're trained. And it's one of those things of we're aware of it, we're working on it, we're working with XL Games to make it happen. And I'm like, when Landmark launched, it did not have an invert y-axis, and everyone took to the forums and freaked out. The very next day, it was patched into the game. So why is this
Right.
taking 6 months for them to do it over there? So I fought with it. I tried to play. I tried to adapt. I tried to, kind of roll with it. And I got to like level 8, and I'm like, nah, I'll come back when they get around to adding this. This is not a lot of fun. I'm spending half the game
Right.
because I'm fine standing still. It's when I start moving that I'm trying to adjust how the camera's moving, and suddenly I'm like, what am I doing, and I'm like, forget that. So I fought
Nice.
with that all weekend and I just gave up on it. And I was looking up, there was like a patch or something that you could do to the game to try and make it work, and none of that shit worked. So I was like, I give up. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna pass
That's
on
too
that for
bad too.
now.
Yeah, it's too
you,
bad.
you
A
know
lot
what
of
you know
the
what
game companies, the,
Yeah.
the, the smallest things will make everyone pass, and it's totally legitimate that they're passing because it's ruining the experience. But it seems like it could be an easy fix, and they could get a lot more players.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I know the younger, and you see it in their forums, younger players don't have the issue because a lot of games that came, later on, did it the other way around. The default was a normal y-axis, not an inverted. So, whatever. Whatever. Let's see, who do we got in chat here today? Our usual jokers. Yeah.
Welcome
What
back,
was
Norman.
up with fuck? What was up with everybody spamming the chat today with their channels? It was a little like, really, guys? Come on.
There weren't any of the bots or any moderators to do anything about it, so yeah.
I know, but to see some of the more well-known regular members of the Landmark community turning into complete asshats, I wasn't impressed. Yeah,
You
Andrew
know
and our
what was
Dan
worse
is
than
saying
that?
they burned me with the $150 for an alpha that was just a rehashed Korean game that's 2 years old, so I won't even download it free. Well,
Yeah.
that's you for spending $150 on something without looking into it. That's your problem. That's not their problem. That's you not paying attention to what you're doing.
No, I don't think he's
Yeah.
saying he bought it. I think he's saying the idea that they would charge
Oh,
150
okay. I
bucks for
see.
a localization.
Oh, I
And I'm
thought
kind of
that
in the
was.
same boat with him there.
I agree. I agree with you on that. I thought that was complete highway fucking robbery and absolutely ridiculous. That yeah, you would pay $150, basically proofread their translations. You know what I mean? It was like,
I
no,
mean, he
I
also,
can pass on that.
I believe he
Thanks.
also
And
got
when
some other goodies too, but that's still kind of
But
bogus.
but all know at this point, right? The way those extra items really work for you is if you really get into the game, then yeah, down the road you're going to be glad that you have that knickknacker item that nobody else can get now, kind of a thing.
Right.
But if you don't find yourself falling in love with the game, you've pissed away a lot of money. And
Yeah.
I did it with Star Wars: The Old Republic. I bought the big fancy pack and the whole 9 yards. And then what? A month into the game, 2 months into the game, they made all of those items. Like you could spend $10 and basically buy all the items that came in that pack. And I was like, what? Come on.
Yeah.
But looking around and having been in the game long enough, the items they're giving you are all purely cosmetic. There's no real, and there are equally as cool gliders available in game playing and stuff like that. And old Greg saying he got in the first beta and the game was crashing every 5 minutes for me, and they still haven't answered my support ticket on it. Probably would have if they had spent. He probably would have if I had spent 150. Actually, old Greg, I'm seeing a lot of complaints. That's the other thing is I saw a lot of complaints, and I have tried interacting with the Archage folks. They are not remotely. Their community service sucks ass. I'm not impressed with Tryon. I'm not impressed with the community team. I'm not impressed with the way they handle themselves. And we've talked about this before. Where paying for early access. You guys dropped $100 to get into Landmark, but I think you guys are getting your money's worth. You're
Oh yeah.
really involved in the process. Like you really have a say in what's happening with that game. To drop $150 and just be a spell checker,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll pass on
I don't
that.
know. The thing, I wonder how it actually is being the community managers over there. Because if I'm not mistaken, Paistro and Denisi are both over there, both former SOE community managers. And I guess I didn't really talk to him as much at the block party event, but I probably should have asked a little bit more because I was wondering just how people feel about it and how the community manager has been handling. Kremchek, you
Ooh.
were going to say something a moment ago on the 150 for the packs. Still remember what that was?
Oh well, I don't remember exactly what I was going to say, but I have something else about that. Uh, a lot of people say, and I don't get it, that when a company does something like that, it's insulting to the gamers. I see that all over everywhere. They're insulting us. Well, they're not really insulting. They're trying to make money. It's not an
Yeah,
insult. They're making a game. They're making money. That's what they're going to do.
it's a
It
business.
might be
Yeah,
it might be ignorant, but it's definitely not an insult because it's not personal. So don't take it as an insult. They're not trying to say you're stupid. They're trying to make money because they're a
Oh,
business.
the mic cord is going crazy there, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, it was starting to freak out while you were talking there.
but let's see here. Pie's pointing out that Tryon and Rift has been amazingly responsive to customers and issues. Now, here's what I think the issue might really be for them. Then, is because they're not building the game themselves. They don't have anything to do with programming the game. The only thing that's all XL games in Korea. So I think that is adding a layer of bullshit and complexity that they are going to have to fight through. But with that said, there's been plenty of my interacting and asking nicely, politely, "Hey Archage, what is going on with no invert Y access?" Cannot get them to reply, but the one tweet I put out where I was just pointing out to my Twitter feed, "Hey guys, by the way, if you didn't know, Archage Open Beta started this weekend." Oh shit, yeah, they're all over promoting that, liking it and retweeting that. But will they respond to me when I ask a critical question? Nah. So who knows? Who knows? I suspect a lot of their problems come from it being something that they're just translating, and they're not, they have to rely on XL Games to make all these changes. So, you know, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rift is Tryon's baby. Korean companies are notoriously crap.
I would say, yeah,
Try.
the companies that handle games from, particularly games from Asia, and specifically from places where there's, higher security, where you're actually using your own personal, login information that can be tied back to like a social security number. They have a
Mm.
lot of different issues there, and they have a lot of different stuff that it's a completely different beast out here. Especially, we don't have the same kind of security out here. So immediately when a game gets out here, that's one of the big concerns and one of the big problems. But other than that, I've seen a lot of the same thing from Nexon being a big offender of that sort of stuff. That they're just the publisher for the game whatever third party game company, and the game itself, you can't get any help with it. They can't fix any issues. Even if you're somebody that, as a volunteer forum moderator, they would do anything for me except actually helping me with an in-game issue like changing a name or something like that.
Hmm.
And they would say, "No, sorry, we have no possible way of doing this." And it's like, "Nah, you guys, you really do. I know you
You
can."
do. You just, yeah,
You-
you're just being difficult. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely some of that going on. Honestly,
Speaking
like,
of, go ahead.
publishing of third-party games is always something that it can be something that either works really well for both of them, or it financially works, I guess, really well for both of them and the players, or financially it works well enough for them, but the players are not always really that happy with everything the entire time.
Mm. Oh, speaking of MMOs, you know what no one's talking about anymore? WildStar. That came and went real quick. I told people that was going to be
Oh
the
well.
case too. Everybody was like, "It's the next thing," and I saw the hype train, and then I saw everybody getting all on board and all
Is it
excited.
content
It's the
wall or
next.
what?
Who knows? I don't
I don't
know.
think
I
it's a
I
content
just
wall.
I mean, it's a nice enough game. I enjoyed. I got into closed beta early on, and I'd popped. I'd been in and out a few times, but here, it doesn't say much about the story or the world of the game when you can log in. I'm in beta. Like when I got into beta for Star Wars: The Old Republic, you couldn't get me to leave my computer. Like for months, I was just play, 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 play. I played WildStar for 2 weeks, forgot to log in. It would be 2 months before I was like, I should probably log into WildStar, see what's going on. Like it just didn't grab me the way I had hoped it would, and I just never got really sucked into it. And it's not that there was anything wrong with the game; it just wasn't great. And apparently, I mean, a lot of folks just fell off. Everyone you get caught up in the hype train. Woo, it's the new thing. Everyone's playing it. Let's jump in, and then it just kind of falls to the wayside.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing as pretty much every other game that's coming out right now. It's fine by itself, but it's just not special.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, I for a space game, I was like, why am I running around?
Yeah.
Like I was like immediately, I was like, okay, look, you're in a spaceship, this, that. Okay, now you're on the ground, and now it's just like every other MMO. Like I was like,
Yeah.
come on, guys.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I kind of like some indie games. Like, I haven't played Starbound yet, but that ability to go around is really nice. Edge of Space has new procedural dungeon functionality. So, honestly, if I want to be playing a sci-fi game for a long time and having more enjoyment, that's probably more the games that I'd be going for, not WildStar. But let's cut that discussion and get into the
Sure.
official content here.
Okay.
So,